Hi friends, this is Sarah from Crafting and Relaxing. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. I wanted to show you what I took on my trip with me. It was not a crafting trip, it was a Vegas to see Garth trip. And if you want to hear more about that, I will share more, but that'll be in updates. But I just wanted to be able to put this stuff away, so I wanted to show you what I took with me and what I brought back and how it turned out. I decided at the very last minute that I was going to take crafty stuff. So I took a couple magazines that I wanted to catch up on reading, this 4x6 iris case, and I have a photo that I can show you what was in it before. I had a bunch of blanks, and I still have some pieces of blank cardstock, and I had way more scraps than this. It was, I would at least say, triple that. It had gotten away from me, and I took a tiny punch. These scraps are, they might be the branding strips. Some of them were wider and I used my punch for those. Some of them were just different pieces of paper from along the way. I also took my super fancy Dollar Tree scissors. TSA seems to be absolutely fine with these, and I wanted to be sure that I never had to throw away a pair of scissors that I would cry over, because if they made me throw these away, I would be so sad. I don't think I can buy another pair. I also took paper, scissors, a punch, and I chose this punch because it's better to work with and much, much lighter than some of my other punches. And I took a small bottle of glue. This glue I do put in my toiletries because I don't check a bag. So this is how I take glue when I travel. I just put it right in with my toothpaste and, makeup and all that. Then I took empty Ziploc bags. These were all empty. And these might be double-sided. They might be single. So if you see one side and you think, oh, that's terrible, don't worry. There is one good side, at least, to all of these. These were larger pieces or pieces that I didn't want on my cards. But they had to be, it couldn't be a half-inch strip. That wouldn't work. And the super thick ones, like I had some basil cardstock in here. Those were not pleasant to punch, so I didn't, like these. And I had some wider strips of this. I didn't use these because they were hard. Took some muscle. But clearly I punched a lot of flower petals. I thought these would be fun for Happy Mail or to use myself. Then here are my completed projects. Not only did I make these and punch flower petals, but I sorted. I went through the scraps and threw out things that were not bringing me joy anymore, papers that I didn't like, and got rid of them. How many did I make? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Some are A2 size card bases. Not the base, but like the card front that you're going to put your embellishments and stuff on. And then a couple of them are mini slimline. And I only use the tools you see here. I didn't have a paper cutter, nothing like that. Then what I do is I bring them home and I straighten them up. And I just do it on my cutter because I don't know if you've used these Dollar Tree scissors, but they are maybe not a joy to cut with. So then I just take it and I put it on here. And when I'm making these cards, I'm not worrying too much about, I don't care what size this piece of paper is. Whatever size this is, I will work with it. I just get it square and make sure all the edges are clean. And then that's what I have to work with. So that is ready to be a card front. The scraps add up really quick. Even if I'm doing smash that small paper pad or things where I just have a little bit, or branding strips. I had a lot of branding strips. So you can see that this time I did sort them as I went. I really had fun doing that. I put some yellow and blues together, some just blues, had a lot of black and white. This one's a little more vintage looking. Sometimes I don't sort them at all, but this time I did. So to finish this up, all I'm going to do is, well, for today, I'm probably just going to set these aside because I need to get unpacked, but I will square them up while I'm watching TV one night. That's a super easy thing to do, right? Well, and Mr. Crafting and Relaxing doesn't really complain about noise. Maybe some of your other family members would not appreciate it if you brought a punch and did the punching in the hotel room. I didn't use the punch. Actually, on the plane, I just read magazines because the flight wasn't very long. But I have worked on these card fronts before on a plane. It's not noisy, nobody complains, no big deal. I think the punch might have been a little annoying, right? Especially on an early morning flight. So that is all I do on these. And when you see them, they will be really, really cute. You can just take something like this. Oh, look, this would be cute. Take one of these. You can put a big thinking of you die across it. Another thing that's really fun with these is to stamp across them. If you get a really heavy duty font and a dark black ink maybe, Happy Everything might work. I've done a really big, I think it said grateful before. The big butterfly might be fun, like this one. Something with a really bold font. And if you keep your papers close together or touching, this one where the gap is big, if you're trying to do fine fonts, you kind of lose things, but that might be really cool on there. And sometimes you don't know till you try it. What's the worst that can happen? Stamp it on there. If you hate it, grab a different piece of paper, and that's what you're going to put your embellishment on. No worries. Have fun with it. This is just a way to use your scraps. That's all this is. It's a travel idea because you can get through TSA. It doesn't take up a lot of space. I've also done this when we're going to a friend's house. I just sit at their dining room table. I worked on my magazine or on the table in the hotel, and then I just washed it off. Some of those hotels have a table that you can drag around or move around a little, and I just make myself at home. Thanks so much for watching. I hope that you are taking time for crafting and relaxing and using up your scraps. Bye-bye.